I've never seen Code Geass. I was never really a big fan of mechs, and honestly, younger me wasn't into the whole skinny body art style. I'm tired of convos where my friend says, "Fam, have you seen Code Geass?" Yeah, it's on the list. Let's finally tackle that list by looking at episode 1. In this world, Britannia is the reigning empire. The empire declares war on Japan and easily defeats them, which in turn strips them of their name, freedom, rights, and later on, we even find out their dignity. Britannia decides to call Japan Area 11, which will be important later on for a somewhat awful reason. We finish this brief info dump with this kid declaring that he'll one day destroy the empire. We skip forward a few years and damn, is that Ichigo?
Lelouch. Lamperouge.
I swear, for the rest of this show, I'm gonna be waiting for the MC to pull out a sword. He shows up to this game of chess where the condition for the game is that he only has 20 seconds for each move. This isn't a problem as he quickly outsmarts a noble. I'm guessing Lelouch is a thinking man's protagonist. From this interaction, we get that he doesn't like nobles. We cut away and fuck. I'm already gonna hate this fangirl just from a couple of lines of dialogue. I hope they get minimal screen time. The Prince of the Nation addresses the people because there's been a terrorist attack. This is where we find out that the Empire has no chill. They just call the Japanese people 11s, and every time you hear this word, some kind of put me down or insult accompanies it. There's a piece of dialogue here that I'm sure will be important later on.
If the king doesn't lead, how can he expect his subordinates to follow?
While the boys are riding on the way to school, they almost get hit by a runaway lorry that swerves into a building. Just like in real life, instead of helping out, people just watch and take videos of the incident. Pissed off, Lelouch jumps in to help the guys in the lorry, when a strange voice mentions that she's finally found him. This isn't just a random van, it holds something that is important to the Empire, some kind of dangerous poison gas, which is unfortunate for Lelouch as he drops into the vehicle and he's forced into a conflict with the Empire and the supposed terrorist. One of the terrorists strips, and I take back what I said in the intro. This is a nice fit. This art style might grow on me. Then she says the cheesiest bit of dialogue.
You fellas know full well what this badass mother can do!
You slay, bad mama. This turned into a full-on mech battle with a slight hint of racism. Like, these guys are on freezer levels. Filthy 11, simple-minded 11, they have no chill. The badass mother is having trouble being badass, so she escapes the battle. But this is where I complain. I know this guy is smart, but there's no way you can tell me this man knows where they're going just by feeling the motion of this van. That's some anime BS right there. Cutting away to the subway, we find out that this desolate area used to be Shinjuku. If you know anything about Tokyo, this site is eerie. One of the most bustling districts in the world, being a slum in ruins. And again, we can't let up on putting those 11s down.
But you were born 11, therefore the stench of these monkeys ought to be a familiar one.
Lelouch tries to escape because he didn't sign up for this shit when he is spotted by a seemingly random soldier that flying roundhouse kicks him. Wait, is that Sasuke?
That's enough mindless murder.
Wait, I'm not—
Plot twist, this soldier is actually Lelouch's friend from childhood, and that container isn't poison gas. It's some girl wearing some kind of fetish outfit. I know some of you guys are into that weird sort of shit. Sasuke's bosses show up, ordering him to kill Lelouch, but in the biggest turn of events in the entire episode, he is actually loyal to his friend, which ends up in him being killed. I personally don't think he died, but if he went out like that, damn, this show isn't pulling any punches. In a last-ditch effort, the other dude in the van self-destructs in the honor of his country. What follows this is just brutal. The prince catches wind that the target has gotten away, so he orders his men to destroy Shinjuku. What a prick. Remember how I said I hate these characters? It's totally justified. So Lelouch is on the getaway with his tied up friend when this happens. I hate this character. Green-haired chick takes a bullet for Lelouch, and damn, first Sasuke and now her? Brody is hella lucky, like he's got a lot of plot armor. Lelouch is about to get shot when we get a bit of closure on that voice from earlier. Greenie grants him what I think must have to be an alien power if Lelouch is able to accept her condition. She says he's gonna be lonely and yada yada this, yada yada that, but what was the condition? Anyways, he accepts the power, which gives him a special eye that grants him the ability to control people. Talk about OP. The soldiers kill themselves, and I'm left incredibly confused but intrigued. If Lelouch is a Britannian, why does he want the Empire to fall? This opening is kick ass. You know how earlier I said that Sasuke wouldn't be dead? I guess the opening was a dead giveaway, but I knew they just didn't justify this by him being alive with the biggest cliche of all of media. This pendant was special to me, so it saved me from death. It was given to me by my special boyfriend. I'm jumping the gun. This tanned Brit finds Lelouch alone with Greenie, which is where we find out an important plot point. Lelouch attempts to use his Jedi mind control on her, but it's ineffective. Apparently, it only works with direct eye contact. Lelouch finishes this situation by requesting for help, so he is able to snag his very own nightmare frame. In his new whip, Lelouch bells up this chick. Coincidentally, she just so happens to be changing. He uses this convo to gather some intel. Looking back on the scenes that follow, I can say that I'm incredibly fond of Lelouch's character introduction with the chess pieces. He treats this skirmish methodically like a game of chess. Lelouch makes use of a walkie-talkie to communicate with the rebels. Yes, rebels, I'm siding with them because I can't stand the Britannians. Lelouch orders Redhead to jump on the train so she can act as a decoy. When this prick looks to see who's attacking him, he is so shocked that another nightmare frame is attacking him that he is caught off guard. Nice. Even nicer is the fact that Lelouch was able to score a small army of nightmare frame mechs to take the fights to the Britannians. He got busy since acquiring that new eye. Lelouch is a man about his business. He's naming each one of the mechs with code names and handing out orders to them like he is the boss. It's working too well because none of the Britannians expect nightmare frame mechs to be attacking them, so they have the element of surprise. With the help of Lelouch, the rebels are kicking ass. The prince gets hasty. He orders the troops to break formation and all meet at a centralized point. Lelouch has a plan for this too. His troops take underground and make a trap which the prince's troops easily fall into. Now, for all of the shit these Britannians give those dirty 11s, it's ironic that one of them is gonna save their asses. Sasuke pulls up with this mech, showing off this white and gold paint job. It looks pretty cold to me. Apparently this mech is a big deal. Why they give it to him, seeing as he's one of the inferior 11s, is a mystery to me. You know that things are about to go down when 1.5 minutes of screen time is spent launching this thing up. Lancelot boosts out, and I've got a question. Does this mech drain the user or take some life energy or some anime BS like that? As we see Sasuke grabbing his stomach while he's fighting. I hope so, because it needs some kind of nerf. Look at this. Look at how he cleanly punches this guy. This thing can even deflect bullets with its massive energy shield. The next few minutes is Lancelot dominating Lelouch's army with ease. He cuts off this guy's arm, dismembers this guy's head. He's not surviving that. From the next bit, I'm going to say that one of the major forms of conflict in this show will be Lelouch and Sasuke fighting each other in their mechs, even though in real life they are friends. Never fair though, as badass Mummy is here, and she somehow manages to be even less impressive this time. At least she she allows Lelouch to buy some time to escape. This next bit makes me question Sasuke, like he is clearly fighting for the evil side and he is aware that the Britannians hate his people. You would have thought he would have fully bought into the fact that the 11s are trash like the Britannians claim, but instead of finishing off Lelouch, he saves a woman and her daughter. The rebel base is in chaos. The Britannians burst in, ready to shoot, when, plot twist, the king calls off the attack.
Cease fire at once! All forces are ordered to cease fire at once!
This cliffhanger took me for a loop. The prince called off the attack because Lelouch held him at gunpoint. Then, when he starts saying, "Don't you remember me, bish? I used to murk you at chess. Who are you, brother?" Okay, we are 2 episodes in and I already need a backstory. I'm really starting to like Lelouch. He reminds me of Light Yagami in a few different ways, especially with some of the shenanigans he pulls during this shower scene, but more on that later. As for the prince's orders, everybody leaves Shinjuku, and while we don't get a full backstory, we find out that Lelouch's mother was killed as she was a commoner at birth. These Britannians only want purebloods, it seems. Lelouch's beef is that his mother's death was framed as a terrorist attack when in reality it was probably one of the royal family. He uses his eyes to get answers, and all the prince knows is that one of the other family members have details on his mother's death. Then Lelouch deletes his stepbrother without hesitation. This is a weird juxtaposition. We go from Lelouch deleting his bro to this dimwit making comments about her classmates' woman bits. Man, I really wish more anime was set in college. Now that I'm older, these scenes bother me a lot. Going back to the deletion, I like that they show that Lelouch is grossed out with himself and it makes him more human. This is the first time he's had to do something like that, so it makes him more believable as a character. We find out another limitation to Lelouch's dojutsu. Lelouch suspects that the red-headed rebel is his classmate, so he goes to interrogate her. Using his eye, he asks her why she's a terrorist. Redhead says, "I'm half Japanese." Lelouch seems surprised, so this makes me wonder, are half-blooded Britannians rare in this world? He tries to use his eyes on her again, and it failed for some strange reason. Lelouch escapes, and this next bit makes me side with Lelouch a bit more. This is Nonali, Lelouch's sister. I was wondering why he wants to take down Britannia so much, but I can see now that he wants to keep his sister safe. Was it the incident with his mother that caused her to lose her eyesight and her ability to walk? He promises not to lie to her, and here we can see that he isn't just some monster, but he's worried about the safety of his sister. Lelouch wants to test the limits of his capabilities, but in a wholesome way. He asks his teacher to reveal the context of the upcoming essay in his class, and it works. He tries it again and his teacher says no. So it turns out that he can only use his eye power once on a person. With the eye contact requirement and the fact that he can only use it on a person once, his power isn't as broken as I first thought it was. Lelouch approaches the red-headed rebel in the middle of class and asks to speak with her privately, which shocks all of the girls in the class. To be young. The only problem is that the student council is having a party to invite Colleen into the group. I don't know how this happened, but somehow these posh pricks got their hands on alcohol. Something tells me that this entire scene was just made to get Colleen soaked so we can have this awkward shower scene afterwards. Am I wrong? Also, why is it that Lelouch is there to give her clothes? You'd think that one of the girls would be like, "Stop being a perv, I'll do it instead. Anyways, he is there while Colleen is mid-shower when she asks him to hand over her pink pouch. Being a gentleman and frankly just a decent human being, Lelouch looks away while handing her brooch. Colleen was counting on this while she grabs his hand and her pink pouch drops to the floor. However, this isn't an ordinary pouch you'd see a woman have. It's equipped with a shank. Colleen is ready to slit this man. That is until Lelouch is saved by this ring. He answers and the strangest thing happens. Apparently, this call is for Colleen. This part had me completely baffled. She answers and we hear Lelouch's voice giving orders.
1600 hours the day after tomorrow.
But when she goes to check, Lelouch isn't speaking at all. He gives her orders to meet him, then abruptly hangs up the phone. The way Lelouch finesses this final conversation is a class act. Colleen shouts about there being a ceasefire and Lelouch plays dumb, saying, "Oh, are you talking about some online game?" She's like, "Oh, you're right." He replies, "This is why I mentioned Shinjuku. Man's out here spreading videos around and that scene is bare foul." What I love about this scene is how he drops lines like this.
By the way, you know I can see you, right?
Embarrassed because she was butt naked, Colleen closes the shower and Johnny Young Bosch's performance here was amazing. The way he nervously says, "I won't tell anyone," is class. Lelouch ingeniously pulled off this stunt by recording himself, then ordering one of the staff to play the recording on the phone. I wonder what his exact order was. Take this MP3 player and call this phone in exactly 10 minutes time while playing the track that I sent. Something like that. Now that these two are more acquainted, they walk to the club room where everybody finds out that the prince was killed. Not only that, the primary suspect is Sasuke. What? Like, how can they even prove that? He was dominating the entire rebellion squad for all of episode 1. I really hate Britannia. You mean to tell me that they planted Sasuke's fingerprints on a gun just so they could put harsher rules on the 11s? Because if the son of the previous prime minister of Japan can't be good, any bit of 11ers DNA must be bad. These guys are pure evil. The rebels are pissed because if they issued a statement about killing the prince, Sasuke wouldn't have been framed. The thing is, Britannia is dumb. You're gonna let go of your best and most loyal soldier because he isn't a full Britannian? You did see episode 1, right? Episode 2, you dummy. It was episode 2. You all would have been cooked if it wasn't for Lancelot and Sasuke. No half-bloods in the military, my ass. Lelouch gets into contact with Colleen under the moniker of Zero. I fucking love this train scene because it really grounds what's at stake in this series. Lelouch calls Colleen and tells her to look to the right. You see this lush, prosperous city decked out with massive skyscrapers, not a single blemish in sight. When he tells her to look to the left, we see a destitute city, debris and smashed up buildings. The Britannians have no chill. Lelouch eye-fucked the passengers so that he can meet up with the rebels alone. I was kind of confused here because the scene turned all blue. Is his new power JoJo lighting? I'm not a biggest fan of the Zero costume, but I dig how his voice gets slightly deeper.
What do you think of my tour of the settlement?
We catch up with Sasuke, and as much as I like the guy, I think he is incredibly naive if he thinks the court is gonna be fair and just. Did you see the 11's city? I would say that he is pure and honest, but how can you support these guys when they are constantly like, dirty 11's? The stench of the 11's are all over the place. But I'm sure you plebs are used to it. Brutal. In true Britannian Britannian style, they need to make a show of everything. So on a main road, they pull up with 3 Sunderlands and escort Sasuke on top of a truck to his court hearing. Lelouch is an absolute mad lad for the stunt he pulls in this scene. He dresses up in his Zero suit, not the sexy kind of Zero suit, but I don't know what else to call this thing, and then he rolls up on the Britannian squad with the prince's vehicle. That's reckless. It's just the 3 of them, Lelouch, Colleen, and whatever this guy's name is. Although Lelouch is always 3 steps ahead. Remember when we first met Colleen? We thought their vehicle was holding poison gas. Lelouch and Sasuke know that this doesn't contain poison gas, but this sod doesn't. This puts the entire public watching this march in a fake hostage position. Lelouch sounds so smug with his Zero voice.
For a single 11, you'll save scores of precious Britannians.
All of this is done so that Lelouch can exchange Sasuke for the people's safety. He even goes as far as to clear Sasuke's name by claiming that he is the one that killed the prince. The Britannians are in a sticky situation because in their heads, Zero has poison gas. If they do kill him, the information of this will go public and they will lose face. This causes this man to second guess himself, leaving Lelouch the perfect opportunity to eye fuck him. This has me thinking, where on earth does Lelouch get this crazy snazzy costume from? This thing has a contraption on the helmet to show one of his eyes? Surely he didn't make this thing. This man isn't Spider-Man. This thing seems way too high tech for me. This racist ass takes a dramatic U-turn by freeing one of the 11s he hates so much. Everybody else in the Britannian army is shocked, but the racist asshole goes 10 toes down and demands they let him go. To add to the chaos, Zero releases some smoke gas which scares away the public. The tanned racist isn't having any of this and she goes into attack only to be blocked by her fellow racists. Karma is a B. The Geass is really strong because this man is doing everything in his power to let these guys get away. What made me laugh is that they used this fake makeshift trampoline of all things to escape. Okay, so this final scene made me dislike Sasuke. He must have Stockholm syndrome or something. You mean to tell me these men pulled up in front of all of these Sunderlands to save you, and you not only leave the Zero group, you are going to that crooked courtroom trial just because you believe in changing things from within? Your logic is insane. Change things from within? Don't you have ears? You don't hear what they call you guys?
You pathetic 11.
Okay, maybe I am being a bit one-sided here. He is the golden goose of the 11s, so if he does misbehave, they'll be more tough on the so-called 11s and honorary Britons or Britannians. So I guess his heart is with the people. Nah, screw it. I still think this man is hella naive. Younger me would have sided with him on this, but the older you get, the more jaded you become. To add more tension to this mess, the odd green-haired chick shows up at Lelouch's sister's crib. What is her deal anyways? After granting Lelouch his all-powerful eyes, she hasn't done shit. Hey guys, quick update. If you want to see daily uploads from me, more J-Man content, go over to my J-Man Talks channel. I talk about everything every single day. That is my Slopfest channel. I'm committed to posting there every single day. As for this channel, I will be posting high quality videos and I will take my time with them and I'll post them whenever I want. So there's no schedule for this channel. I'm doing this so I can maintain the quality of this channel, but I also get the dopamine hit of releasing a new video every day, which is kind of like the best of both worlds. So check that channel out if you're interested. In regards to this video, if you want to see more Code Geass, get this video to over 5,000 views, so it's more views than my subscribers, and also over 250 likes, and I'll continue this series. If not, I'll just do another series. So if you like Code Geass and you want to see me cover more of it, please be sure to like this video and share it with another person that likes Code Geass. Also, I've decided to not do animations on this channel anymore because they take a whole load of time, and I feel as though that was also what was annoying me about the process of making videos on this channel. So in the future, I'll make a separate channel for that as well, but this would just be anime analysis / recap videos with no animation or any extra things like that. Or if I do, it will be a small thing like what I did at the start of this video, nothing too fancy because that saves me a lot of time. Anyways, see you guys on the next upload.